Hey, so took the week off of work, been busy trying to get some of the hoop house stuff set up, and we're working on hoop 2 right now, getting the buckets all filled. So we just finished getting hoop 1 all put together. Let me turn this fan off real fast since it's a little hot out. There. So we just got hoop 1, all the buckets filled with perlite and vermiculite, put together, washed everything out and let them run for a bit. It's still running now. You can see the water stream, cleaned it all out and pumped everything out. So that's good, and just filled with water at the moment just so that everything can cycle through for a while. But we replumbed all the drain and supply lines, so there's only 3 aisles in here for this year, and so far so good. Now we're just working on hoop 2, and my mom's been up here helping, so we've got hoop 2 pretty much plumbed and ready. Don't have any water, haven't run that irrigation pump or anything like that yet, but we're gonna go ahead and fill these buckets and move these in. But you can see these buckets, we've just sanitized them, and then we're throwing these paint strainers. They're like 5-gallon paint strainers. We just put that around there, and that keeps the roots from trying to go out of the pipe, out of the bucket. And then we'll fill these with perlite, vermiculite, and then perlite again to top it off. And then from there, the rock wool block, that cube thing, will sit on top of that, and those roots will seek their way down into the bucket, into that perlite mixture. So all right, we'll get to it. 27 buckets. We used 1 full bag of perlite and then almost a second bag. So this is just coarse perlite, and then we probably used like half of this super coarse vermiculite. So I think I bought way too much, but I'd rather have more than enough, and instead of having to knead it. So I've still got like 3 more bags of perlite and 2 more bags of vermiculite. So I'm gonna walk here to hoop 1 and take a quick look at what we got done today. I got concrete blocks blocking the doors because of the wind we've had over the past month. But I think I showed earlier that we got hoop 1 all set up. So we've got a mixture in these buckets. There's 27 buckets in here, and they are 1/3 of perlite on the bottom, and then a layer of vermiculite, and then another 1/3 layer on the top of perlite again. But we let these run today. For quite a while we had run all of the dust out of them before we put them into the system, but got some water in the drain system and everything, so we could just make sure that everything's holding up well. Basically we replumbed the layout this year, so we've got the 3 rows. We still have the NFT table over there, so that's on its own reservoir still. We haven't run that yet, but that tank's clean and dry. These rows, they're spaced a lot better this year, so we have more space on each side. We'll have better airflow, more room for us to get in there and prune, pick peppers, and just look after them better. So let's hop over to hoop 2. So here we are at hoop 2. Look at that, buckets. So we've got 45 in here, or no, actually I think 48. 16 in each row. But they same mixture of perlite, vermiculite, and then perlite. We're just gonna have a lot more peppers this year, and a lot more here in the hoop house. We got this tank all set up, got a pump down in there. It's a 4,500 gallon per hour pump. So it's got a lot of oomph to move all this water up this grade. As you can tell from the side walls, you can see how the grade changes. It's a pretty steep grade, so it's got to have a lot of lift on that pump to move the water up there. But we got pretty much the same type of design here for the drain. So you can see, instead of having to drop down at the 90 here down into the ground, we went just straight off and shot it that way. And that way we didn't have to really do too much to level out the buckets or raise them at all. So that'll work well. Well, we ran this one also for a while today. Got a lot of the dust out of the system, and I'll end up pumping out that tank before we put nutrient water in it. That way it just starts, you know, fresh and clean. Out here in the weed zone, there's so many weeds growing around our garlic, but we've got a bunch of garlic, as in past videos. It's starting to brown at the tips, which means it's getting to the point of you know, picking. I think we're about at least 6 months on this, almost 7 I think. But yeah, it'll probably be time to harvest some of this garlic soon, get it drying, and we'll put it down in our basement. There's a little, like a root cellar down there. It should be nice, and the humidity's good, the temperature's good, so we should be able to keep it there for a while. And then we'll come out here and I'll till all of this, and we'll reset it so that we can put tomatoes and probably put more carrots. There are carrots here, they're shooting up through the weeds. It's sad, but that's what the deer will do.